everybody, and welcome back. I hope that you are well. It is Friday morning here on the Gold Coast in Australia, and I love my Fridays at the moment. I get up early, I do an early PT session with my trainer in my home gym, and then I get the kids ready, I send them off on their way for their morning activities, and then I went for a beautiful walk and meditation on the beach. And this time of year on the Gold Coast is just magic. It's so beautiful out there. The beach is incredible. And then I just come back ready to just be really inspired for the day, ready to show up for everybody. So I'm feeling good. The vibes are high today. As you would know from the title of this video, I want to talk about a topic today that is a very common self-sabotage program, self-sabotage story that we carry. And that is the story that to ask for more out of life when you're already surrounded and living in so much abundance makes you really greedy. And it's a story that you may not know that you have and that sits deep within your subconscious, but it is definitely a story that if you have it, is definitely impacting your days and how willing you are to call in the big stuff in this life and how big you are willing to play. It is that story that is keeping you small in this life. And so I want to talk about it today. It's definitely something that I have had to work through. I remember when I decided to come back into the workforce and start playing in a big career growth for myself. It's a story that I definitely had to work through. You know, the greed story was loud. There was also a lot of mum guilt, which, if I'm honest, that still is there daily. I'm a homeschool mum, and so the balance of it all is a lot, and it's a juggle, and the mum guilt still definitely plays a part. But when it comes to this story of feeling greedy, asking for more, you know, I live in complete abundance. I have two beautiful, healthy, happy, fulfilled children. I have a beautiful marriage. I have a beautiful home. I'm surrounded by so much abundance. I feel like I am held by this beautiful, nurturing community. I've got so many deep friendships. There's just so much abundance in my life. And so there was almost this story in my subconscious telling me to ask for any more. What more could you need? Like, to ask for any more than that is so greedy. And people don't like greedy girls, right? Like, that's just, we're brought up that way. We don't like greedy. It's not a nice word. It's not a nice feeling. It's not nice to know that people might think that of you. And so it is definitely something that I have worked through. But when I really started to ask myself why I wanted to step back in and work and have some big career goals, I felt like the understanding of the why would help, and the motivation behind it all would help me with the justification, which would then help me remove this story of it, hopefully, of me experiencing this story of greed, right? And at the end of the day, when I really thought about it, I stepped into kinesiology, and I initially started to study kinesiology mainly for the benefit of my kids. I wanted to get inside their bodies a little bit more and understand more of that. But then I had a very big calling to want to expand my brain more. I am a student of life. I love learning. And that through the toddler and babyhood years, that part of me was completely dormant, really. And I had a really big craving to get back in and expand my brain and be with adults and feel like I personally was growing in myself, even though I knew that as a mother and in that journey, there's so much growth, but I just had this big calling. Academically, my brain wanted to be stretched and I wanted to study. And so I did that, and it was fulfilling that. And the more and more I studied kinesiology and started to understand the power of the modality, the more I realized just how impactful the modality could be, and just what a huge impact I could make in this world. And as a mum who is trying her hardest to grow and nurture children that are very conscious and inquisitive and really foster this feeling of autonomy within themselves, I realized that kinesiology could do that for adults and was so important, because my biggest driver is to know that as a coach and a kinesiologist, I get to help women heal. I get to help women feel those feelings of autonomy, feeling inquisitive again, asking for big things. And every woman healed heals an entire family, which changes the world that my kids get to grow up in. And that is a huge driver for me. And when I think about asking for financial reward for that type of impact, if we think about money and finances just purely as an exchange of energy, the impact that I was making deserves abundance, deserves financial abundance. And there is absolutely nothing greedy about that. It is just purely an exchange of energy. And what's even better about the financial abundance then is that the impact you get to make and the ripple effect that you get to make is not greedy at all. It is not self-serving at all. And so that's a story that I really had to work through, really, really start to believe in myself, not just consciously, but also in my subconscious. And yeah, I definitely know that it is a story for so many people, this story of greed, because we were taught, as children, it's not nice to be greedy. Don't be greedy. And when we start to really dream about our goals and asking for more and really dreaming big, and I mean bigger than you ever consciously feel safe to dream. I think when these feelings of greed come back up, a couple of things that we need to focus on or ask ourselves is, firstly, reflect on your values. When we know that what we're doing in our mission and what the purpose and the drive that we have is so in line with our personal values, and that those values have there's a community benefit or like that ripple effect to that, then it really helps with that story of greed. In addition to that, also having a look at how that you've made sure that there's this balance between self-interest and the interest of serving others. Like, does it feel balanced to you, or does it feel too self-serving? What are the consequences? Like, what are the ethical consequences for you asking more in this life, you receiving more in this life? What are the ethical consequences of that? Are there actually any, or is it all in your mind? And then when we break through all of that, I think by redefining this concept of greed, we get to approach our purpose and our responsibility to really focus on what we want. But I think there's always this story then of, okay, when we talk about ethical considerations, right? What are the ethical considerations? What are the consequences? We have this story of when we were children and there was a birthday cake on the table and we wanted another piece of birthday cake because it was so yummy. We were told, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. You've had one. If you have another one, there won't be enough for everybody to go around. And for sure, there was this finite amount of birthday cake to go around. But when we're talking about abundance, is it finite? Or is it this limitless, bottomless pit that is up for grabs, available to anybody? It's already out there. It's already being taken by those that want to play that game. It's already out there. It's not this finite piece of birthday cake that if we take an extra, we ask for more, then, little Sally's going to miss out in the corner because she wasn't upfront asking for more. It's not like that. But, when we've got this story of this scarcity mindset that there isn't enough to go around, or if you take or you ask for that, then somebody's going to be missing out. Challenging that scarcity mindset is really, really important, because when we're able to do that, we're able to really chase our dreams. And it is something that takes a lot of conscious effort and practice. But some things that you can do, that you can incorporate into your each and every day to help work on that scarcity mindset is, number one, obviously compassionate awareness. Stop and feel and notice where that story is coming up, how it feels like, what it looks like, and what the commonality, I guess, is of when that story does show up for you in your days. Also, sitting in a really beautiful gratitude practice, being great, cultivating this feeling of feeling grateful and training your mind to really start to see the limitlessness, is that a word? The limitlessness that is out there and what is available for everybody for the taking, and feeling really grateful for what you have and what is there is a beautiful way to really tap into that. Another one is abundance affirmations, using positive affirmations to reinforce this abundance mindset, to repeat them constantly over and over. It's just about training your mind to think differently, that, to get rid of that story of that scarcity. Also, in addition to that, I would say reframing your thoughts is a really important one. So when you do notice those feelings come up and those stories come up, stop and reframe. It's simple. Like the first thing that you might catch yourself saying, oh, there's not enough. There's not enough of that to go around. Just stop and consciously replace that with another sentence. There are abundant opportunities waiting for me. I think another one is really important, to celebrate other people's success. This is one that people really struggle with. And I really actually don't know why. But instead of seeing other people's success is like they've reached up and taken something that may have been available for you that's now no longer available. Use it as motivation, use it as inspiration. I think that really helps to inspire and motivate you and help get you out of that scarcity mindset. We hold these self-sabotage programs so close and so dear to us that they really start to be really restrictive on our lives and our dreams. And, they can really manifest in never fully committing to your dreams, always wanting to play small, diminishing your achievements, setting low expectations of yourself, and in most cases, just avoiding that risk that is out there when you are asking for more. This is a topic that I love working on. Like, it's a favorite to me because it's so powerful. Like, removing this stuff that we don't need to be holding on to is so empowering. But I know as well that it's a really highly, like, it's a favorite of yours as well. I don't know what to say then. It's something that you guys really like to work on. So if you want to know more about this, I tried to keep this story quite short just to kind of spark a little bit of interest, make a few points, but also open the floor to, if this is something you want me to do more videos on, then I'm more than willing to get into this. More self-sabotaging programs are so important to break through, and kinesiology is an incredible modality that gets to just smash through these. If you want to dig more, you want to open that line of communication to your subconscious mind, get inside that mind of yours and smash through these stories, then reach out, because kinesiology is 100% an incredible modality to do this. When I think about my kids, my children see their magnificence. Like, they are so happy to take up space in this world, and they are so happy to to demand for more, to expect greatness. And, it's only off the back of a lifetime of interactions, conversations, experiences, traumas, whatever that might be, societal constructs, that gets to put this protective barrier up in our mind that gets us to dim our lights. Like, mediocrity is not an option for my children, and it doesn't need to be for us either. I really hope that this has sparked some interest today. This information has been helpful to you, even just a little bit. As always, I love talking to you more on email or on my DMs. I just love connecting with you guys and knowing that what I'm saying is resonating for any of you. I'm going to leave it there. I'm willing to talk more on this topic if the demand is there. I'm sending you lots and lots of love. And as always, alongside the universe, I have your back. Mwah.
Don't know what to believe in.